Welcome back to Miss Valrie Can Help. This morning I'm gonna do some fried dumpling. Back home we call it fried Johnnie cake. Alright. First, I prepare my flour. I use my baking powder. I use a tablespoon of baking powder, which I already put inside. But if you don't have the tablespoon, you can use a regular spoon, because this is just the same as a tablespoonful of baking powder. And I use this baking powder. Okay. So I'm gonna mix my baking powder together so it goes evenly in the flour. I have my water and I put my salt in my water. The reason for that is because I don't want to just sprinkle the salt over like this and then it ends up salt. So what I do, I put my water and I add my salt and I dissolve it in the water. Then I take a little and I taste it to make sure that it is okay. So when I do that now, the taste, I know exactly that my dumpling won't get salt. Alright, so I'm just gonna add it gradually. Alright, I'm gonna mix it. When you're doing this, guys, make sure you don't pour too much at one time, because you don't want it to get too soft. Alright. And then just mix it around like this. While you're mixing, you make sure you fold it. I start out first with a cup of water. It depends on the amount of flour you're making. So I just started with a cup. If I need more, I just add it gradually, a little more. But I start first with a cup of water. And please make sure before you start your dumpling, make sure your hand is clean and washed before you start doing your dumpling. Okay, I'm gonna knead it out. See, I didn't use all of the water because when I use a spoon I realized the mixture was getting soft, so I stop. Right? And the rest of flour that is in it, I just use it and bring it. Make sure it's completely. Okay. Right, I'm gonna have it. Just rotate it while keep pressing it, so you make sure that it's alright. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little while before I start rolling my dumpling. Okay guys, make sure you use all-purpose flour when you're doing your fried dumpling. If some places have the regular baking flour or the cake and pastry flour, because it depends on where you originated from, or if you have the one that doesn't have any it's just like a counter flour, they call it. So if you do have the counter flour, you need to use more than the tablespoon of baking powder. Actually, I'm using the double acting powder. So when I use a tablespoon, you know that would be like 2 tablespoons. Alright. And guys, if your dumpling looks too soft, make sure you have a little extra flour in the bowl so you can dip it, rotate it, and I just do my dumpling like rotating it like this, so it's spread. You notice when I do this, the inner part comes out just the same, so everywhere just get dry and not too softy, so you see it's not sticking on my hand. Or you can rub a little flour in your hand like this and just bring it like this. See, you can see that my flour is soft. So when you fry it, it's going to be just soft and nice. It's not too dry. If the mixture is dry, then your dumpling is going to be a little shelly. And if you put too much of the baking powder, not this baking soda, the baking powder, it will just be a little cracky. So make sure you use the right amount. All right. And this is how I don't do them too big. I do them like this. And then sometimes I get a little style to my dumpling, like rolling it like this. Roll it like I'm making a spinner, and then I do a twist like this. Right? So when your dumpling fry, it has a little style to it. Instead of having it round, you can do a little twist. It's your dumpling, and you want it to do how you want to style it, you just lock it like that. Alright? Or you just do the regular spin like this. I don't do it because, you know, when you put it in the oil, it's gonna get, yeah. I barely press it, so. Right. I like the fancy ones. So just slap it. I'm going to prepare my oil and my Dutch pot, which I'm going to use to fry my dumpling. And I'll show you the time you put your dumpling in, because you don't want to put it in a cold oil, because it's just going to suck up the oil. So you put your Dutch pot on the fire, add your oil to it, and then you just fry your dumplings. Okay, guys. I'm a piece of tour if you tell you know what happened to me the other day. I take myself, go to the supermarket, I look, I see almond flour. So me take up the almond flour, say me come make some dumpling. Hey! If you ever know what happened, you see when me mix the almond flour and make a dumpling, it's nice and alright. But guess what? It's when me put in the boiling water on the fire. I said this a melt. I said this a melt. I just get a little joke coming in with my aisle. If you had to put my fried dumpling in the pot, me say never again. Me say me didn't know say that way happen. So guess what? Me go try to see if you can fry, but me know say you can bake with it. But no put in on the pot so they cook boiled dumpling. You go there. Okay guys, I had a little flour in this plate. So when I make the dumpling, put in my pot and wrap it. It doesn't stick. Okay, I'm gonna test my oil to see if it's hot now so I can put my dumpling. Oh, good. When it's hot, right away you put it down, it start to, see? Because the oil is really hot. Right? Ouch. Oh.